What's going on, guys? I'm over here on Sukhumvit and Thonglor on the even side. I'm going to walk down to Bangkok Park in Prompong, and I want to take you along and just kind of walk down Sukhumvit. It's kind of a cool area, but I wanted to talk about when you should say no to projects, when you should say no to work, and why that's a powerful thing. Let's go. All right, guys, here we go. Walking down Sukhumvit itself in Thonglor over to Prompong to go to Bangkok Park. And if you guys do me a favor, click the like button and give that YouTube algorithm a little tickle for me. Be much appreciated. If you want to share this video on anywhere in your social media, that would also be greatly appreciated. Maybe help me get a little bit more reach. And if you're new here, do me a favor, click that subscribe button and click that bell so you get notifications for all my videos. And I would appreciate that very much as well. So today, guys, we're talking about when to say no, why you should say no, and why that's a powerful thing. The ability to say no to projects, to work, to requests is incredibly powerful because it allows you to really take control and manage your time and manage your productivity and control your output so you're always producing your best work. One of my earliest videos, I talked about being a bit overwhelmed. I'll link that above. That was one of my early klong walks, maybe even my first klong walk. And, really, I've known about, the power of saying no for a long time, but the reality of the situation is when I get to a point where I'm just getting more work than I can handle, I have a hard time to say no because I do love to work. And so I very much have to reel myself in that regard. Now, it's a work in progress for me, for sure. So, keep that in mind as I talk about what it is that I view as the power of saying no. And realize I am not the end-all be-all authority in this, but these are just, in fact, my opinions. So I think it starts with really knowing your limitations, knowing what you're capable of, and understanding what it is that you want to do, understanding your own goals. When you do that, you put yourself in a much better position to say no to things that don't get you closer to that benchmark, closer to that goal. It's beautiful how they line the streets here with a little bit of trees to give some shade. Quite nice. Makes it a bit dark though, which makes me think that the hyper smooth boost is not gonna look fantastic. We'll see. But to my point, understanding what it is that you want out of your work, out of your projects, what your long-term goals are, will help you to know what you should say no to. Because if something, say it's a job that pays well, but it doesn't move you closer to your goal, then it's not necessarily something you would want to say yes to, especially if you've got other work on your plate that put you closer to that. And you have to judge, is the money worth it, or would you rather take some work that's going to move you in the direction you want? That's one of those things that you do have to consider at all times. Pop crap. That guy was nice. Literally just let me go, even though he probably should have gone. He was in traffic. So again, guys, it comes down to a lot of these things. What is it that you want to be your end goal? Do you want to make more money? Then take whatever work comes your way. But if you have specific creative or growth goals, sometimes you have to make the hard call and say no to work that you would otherwise take because it doesn't meet all of your criteria. Now, criteria is another thing to talk about with this. I often set up criteria for my work and then I often ignore it. So again, take this with a grain of salt. If I have goals, and I always have goals, so let's be honest, I always have some goal in the works. That's the one thing I'm pretty good at, pretty consistent at, is making goals, keeping my goals, working towards them. But I often have a criteria for work that I'll take that moves me towards those goals. So right now I'm really focused much more on my design work. And so from a work criteria perspective, I look at first and foremost, is this job focused more on design, or is it focused more on business development or something else that maybe I'm not 100% interested in? And if it is not first and foremost a design focused project, I should say no to it. Next will be, is this design in an area that's going to push me forward with regards to the things I want to be doing, that I want to be designing? And again, first and foremost, it should be a yes. And then I should be able to articulate in what way. So for instance, one of my design goals is to do more t-shirt design this year. And when I get clients approach me to do t-shirt designs, logo designs, they obviously move very high up on my priority list from a design perspective. Now that's more of my graphic design space, but then on my garment side, I'm very, very focused on denim and designing jeans, denim jackets, other pieces in that range. And that fit a certain aspect of the menswear spectrum. So when I get jobs for menswear design, anything denim related moves directly to the top of my list. 100% to the top. Whereas other garment projects will still be on the list because they're design related, but they'll fall below that. And then I have to determine, is it in line with one of my other designs in some way? I had a request the other day to do a trouser design for someone, but I ended up turning it down because it's a very specific type of trouser. It's not something I'm particularly interested in. And I'm busy with a few other big denim projects as well. So it didn't fit the criteria for what I was looking for. On the flip side of that, I had a project for shirt design with a client. And they wanted me to design some shirts, some casual shirts for them. Now, not denim shirts, but in a similar fabric, a chambray fabric. And so that is something I took on because it's a very close fit to what I do. The styling was similar, and the fabric is something that I do like to work with. So that met the criteria and ended up moving forward. Now, I'm fortunate to be in a position where cash, where how much I'm gonna make, the profit from these projects, isn't at the bottom of the list, but can be moved down a couple notches on the list. Specifically because my business is in a healthy enough position otherwise, where it's not gonna cripple me. Now, I'm not taking projects that don't pay, and I'm not taking projects where I don't have a suitable margin, but I can afford to sacrifice some margin for other things. The other aspect that I look at is I'm not really interested in doing jobs that lend themselves to mass production. Mass production, in my opinion, is going the way of the dodo, especially when it comes to garments, I should say, specifically garments. In the range that I work in. Now, obviously t-shirts, everyday casual wear that's low cost, that obviously mass production improves that overall. But for me, dress shirts, jeans, jackets, things of that nature, small batch is what interests me, and I think that's the future. I think we're at a point where, for the majority of the world, small batch is going to be very viable, It's going to be more economical, it's more creator focused, and it's more environmentally friendly. And a big part of what I focus on, whether it's, you know, my denim garment creation or design, is reducing waste. Things that will age well, that are repairable, and that people will enjoy for a long time. Hopefully, especially with like the bags I make, people will be able to hand those down to the next generation. So from that perspective, you know, that's what I want to focus on. And those are the criteria that I know if a project doesn't meet design from that regards, then I'm going to say no. It's not something that is going to move me closer to my goals of improving that craft. And I'll probably do at some point a whole other video on sustainable design, because it's such a big topic, such an important topic that really does need to be talked about. But the other thing here is saying no to projects that don't align with what I want to work on allows me to really take control of where my creative energy is spent. Because we all only have 24 hours in a day. We have to really be concise with how we spend that time. And we're asleep for a third of it. Maybe more if I feel lazy. You know, and I know Jib is always on me. I really have to do work on my sleep. Like, make sure I get better sleep. There's a used bookstore. That's pretty cool. Little parking lot behind the building there. And I should do a video just on sleep as well, because that's something that's really important and that I don't focus enough on. So yeah, say no. Say no, because it's a good thing. It can help you control your time, control your energy, improve what you're working on. Oh, this is cool. All day tattoo. I can only imagine how crazy expensive rent for a shop is here on Sukhumvit. This does look like a great shop though, wow. Nice color play, red and black, kind of classic. Clean inside, nice furniture. A cool building. Kind of set back. Looks like some underground parking there. A unit for sale or rent. Oh, nice. I wonder if the whole building is for sale or just a unit. Alright, here we go. A grab guy here taking a photo of the food before he brings it out for delivery. A little cafe racer. And make this walk across. Oh, Honda Rebel, that's a nice bike. Big though, a little big for the city. There's a shop, menswear shop. Now, I definitely don't recommend any of these Sukhumvit menswear shops or suit shops, a place that call themselves tailors. They're essentially clothiers. For the most part, a lot of them are just, all they really do is measure you and they all send it out to the same place to be made. And the vast majority of them are sending out, oh, I think I saw a spirit house down here. Let's go take a look. You know, the vast majority of these places are sending out their clothes to be made by the same shops, the same factories. So it's not really worth it. Oh, this looks like all massage shops and stuff. Yeah, I get the feeling that's not. Oh, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, it's definitely all massage shops, and I don't want that type of channel, so we're not going to saunter down that way, guys. We'll continue on. Too funny. too funny. I could see like all the girls were like, the first girls of the shop, they start to cover their face with their phone a bit. I don't want to be putting people on YouTube like that, so carry on, carry on. I completely lost my train of thought now laughing about that. We're coming up on Prompong here, so the park is not that far away. So we'll start to wrap this up. Oh, strawberries, nice. Jib tells me to only buy the Royal Project strawberries though. Okay, so again guys, just to sort of recap, say no when it doesn't push you closer to your goals, when it doesn't move you in the direction that you want, and have a criteria to judge your work by. Again, like I said, I don't always stick to my criteria. I'm not the best at that. I'm as guilty as anyone else. But, you know, try. Like, you know, no one's 100% on these things. Maybe, I don't know, maybe someone is 100%. I'm not. But I only judge myself against myself, not against other people. So, you know, figure how you want to judge yourself. But for me, I hold myself accountable against myself. And that's that. A lot of street food out here. I love these pre-packed street foods. A lot of grilled meats and sausages there. Bringer Hut, little Japanese spot. Doi Chang coffee. This is a nice walk. Thonglor and Prompong. Good distance. Oh, what's this place? Is this one of those old Sonics? No, no. Little Thai dessert crepe thingies here. Bike action. Yeah, what a great part of the city. Just fantastic. Oh, Phnom Croc, one of my favorites. Oh, these little fried ball things are great too. Oh, avocado juice. Not sure about that. I would try it, but avocado is kind of creamy. I think it would be like almost like a milkshake. More bikes. No motorcycles. This is, I don't know if this is Emporium or in Quartier. This is one of the malls. There's one on either side of the soy. One has Michael Kors over here. This is a very busy part of town, guys. Very expensive. I have a couple friends who live over here. Rents over here tend to be, you know, on the high side for Bangkok condos, like 80, 90,000 baht a month is what my friends pay. One of them pays well over 100K. He's got a pretty baller place, but still expensive compared to other parts of the city for the same size. Quality wise though, I mean, you get pretty good quality, all of their condos that are over here. Oh, someone, little Porsche Cayenne, is that what that is? Nice car. All right, here we are, guys. Benjasiri Park. So I'm gonna go walk around in here. Film another video. Ha 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 ha. Until next time, guys, keep taking action, make your ideas reality.